If you think the solo leveling manhwa was impressive, your brain will melt with what this series is capable of. The appreciation I have for the writing behind the story goes beyond anything I can just describe with words. Which is ironic because at the end of the day, it's a story about writing, a novel, an author, a reader, and its characters. It's so meta that the story even involves you, the reader. So stick around if you want a piece of fiction that will completely blow your mind. But before we get to that, when you're reading a story, it's usually written in different perspectives, depending on the author, like first person, third person limited, and what we call the omniscient point of view. A POV where every character is given to some extent attention. Usually these stories involve head hopping and constantly changing perspectives, thus being omniscient. But what if the person who reads a story becomes a part of that very same story from the beginning? That's the story of Kim Dokja. The name Dokja given to him at birth meaning reader or lone child. A character written so poetically well, someone that loved reading this one web novel from back when he was 8 years old called 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. Him being the one and only reader after losing popularity in the first few chapters. Being able to read a new chapter every day kept him going through the downs in life. Back when he was bullied, when he failed his entrance exams, getting drafted in the front lines for the military, and now a workplace where he's just miserable. Until one train ride back home, he realized he just read the last chapter. The work that kept him going all this time after 3,148 episodes, 3 Ways to Survive just released its final chapter. And it's at this time Kim Dokja's world changed forever. Not only did the novel disappear from existence, the whole world started to change. Slowly realizing that he's living the beginning of the events of the very story that he just finished reading. People in different areas being faced with different challenges to be able to survive in a world of monsters and magical beings, and him knowing how everything will proceed along with the usual skills and level up aspect because, well, he read the story. But trust me when I say it's not what you think at all. Not just another overpowered protagonist. I'll leave the premise at that to not ruin it for you guys, and it gets so exciting from there and it takes the wildest twists and turns, but well, life sucks, or sometimes it can suck. Something that allows us, the reader, to relate with Kim Dokja. And just like Kim Dokja, all it takes is just that one book or fictional piece of media you pick up just to be happy again and escape into a world where your worries go away, following the adventures of characters you love, it becoming your new world. Ironic because Dokja means reader and we are readers reading a story about a reader that I personally grew to love like many others. Okay, that's some weird readingception thing going on. Giving life to a story in our own minds. And this is the literal premise for the Omniscient Reader's viewpoint. It's mind-boggling, right? It all comes full circle. A train ride will never be the same. It's a story of sacrifice, escapism for the reader. A story only exists when someone reads it, acknowledges it, in some way giving it life. Kim Dokja, someone who more than anything and anyone else loved reading that one story and that love of an author for that reader and a character choosing to live that story. It just all comes together beautifully. It reminds me of the never-ending story published by the German author Michael Ende in 1979, a special story that allows the person reading it to be a part of that very story. We the readers keep the story going. So many characters are lovable, even the edgelord himself. There's meaning behind every small interaction. From the start, everything matters, even the small prompts of how the constellations react. The core message about learning to love oneself and allowing others to love you even during the worst times or when you feel like you don't deserve it. Relating to Kim Dokja's self-destructive cycle. The fine line between sacrifice and self-slaughter. A lot of unconditional moments that you can't truly rationalize but can empathize with. The amount of respect I have for the duo authors, who I believe are a married couple, for being able to write something like this, pour so much thought and love into it, to the point that it's meta for us the readers. And don't even get me started on amazing world building. The use of lores from different cultures like Sun Wukong from Journey to the West, or the Greek gods like Persephone and Hades from the story of Mount Olympus, or archangels like Uriel, especially for someone like myself who absolutely loves mythology, and the art in both the manhwa and the novel, despite being vastly different in style, is genuinely breathtaking. And you get to enjoy all of this while enjoying a power fantasy manhwa and novel. 49% of you will be amazed and 51% of you will be in a state of angst after reading this. I'm sorry, I had to say it. If you know, you know. As I said in the start, no amount of yapping I do will be enough to explain just how amazing this series is. This is something, if I were a teacher, God forbid that ever happens, English was my worst subject in school, it will be something that I want all my students to read, or if I ever become a parent, it's something I would want my kids to read. Basically, it's a life-changing story that you should not sleep on. If you've already read the manhwa or novel, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to know what you guys thought about it, just a general opinion and whatnot. Or if you have any other manhwa or web novel recommendation, do let me know. I would love to go through them. I think next I plan on trying out Lord of the Mysteries. I heard good things about it and heard there's also an anime coming out sometime in like 2 years or something. And hopefully a lot of you got a whole new manhwa or novel recommendation out of this, and I genuinely hope it won't disappoint you if you're new. As always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, it really helps, and if you're new here, hit subscribe for more anime, manga, and Japan-related content. Well, technically this is Korean, but you know what I mean. Anyways, bye bye, like and subscribe, peace.